Georgia. How you doing? Hey, Steve. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Close to Cincinnati? No, I don't think I am. I don't know how many miles. What mile marker is Cincinnati on 75? Do you know? Probably won't matter. Well, yeah, it will. Yeah, do you know what mile marker it is? I got a much later start today than I hoped to. Doesn't really matter though. Sleep in tomorrow. I don't have to get to Georgia on any special time. Fuel cube. Put what mile marker, Cincinnati? Yeah, I'm in Ohio, yep. Buckeye State. Weather, it's cold. Not as cold though, because I see a lot of these streams have running water. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I stopped in Milan, Michigan for a minute. I ordered a new camera, and it was colder than a bitch here. And I'm heading south, maybe 140 miles south, something like that. But I can tell there's not much snow on the ground. It's not as cold, or it hasn't been as cold, but I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I know the roads are hauling ass. Old Astro vans purring like hitting turbocharger. Yeah, I try to, but this trip I'm not going to be hitting any of them. They really screwed people during that COVID bullshit. If you rented a car, they didn't say anything to you, and they charged you double and triple. How far are you from Dayton, Conan? Do you know that? Yeah, I've been through here like a million times. You'd think I'd remember that, but I'm really never paying too much attention. If I stopped and saw every woman that wanted to meet me, I'd never get anywhere. Oh yeah, I'm watching for them, better believe it. I'm not really speeding. They're sitting everywhere. Nice day though, really beautiful scenery. Yeah, I'm just kidding you. The part I left out is they're all super overweight and 20 years older than I am. That's the problem. I don't want to ruin a good story. I don't want to give them a heart attack when I show up. Yeah. How you doing, Brian? Come on, douchebag. Get out of this lane. Here's a guy who's been probably driving all night. Oh boy. Ohio is busy as hell. Crossroads. Older, more experienced. Yeah, I found in my life though that really doesn't work that way. I think good sex is born that way, to be honest with you. It's like you're not gonna make a Corvette out of a Vega. You're not gonna turn a clumsy teenager into a great athlete. Yeah, I'm here with the facts. I wish it was that way. Oh, 40 miles. Yeah, do you know a place to get off? Do you have a place in mind? I'll stop off. I'll stop off. Get off. Let Daisy out, do a dinkle. Play some strip poker. You got one of those bondage wine cellars ready? Yeah, die trying with a smile. That's it. $75 the whole way down. I'm gonna spend the night in Chattanooga. I say by the time the clock strikes midnight, I'll have somebody crossways in that king-size bed. The legend lives on. Yeah, it is. Yeah, thank you. Hey, Shock, how you doing? Sorry about your football team. You can send a check any day you want. It's a great game. That's the best game I've ever watched. Even if Cincinnati won, I'd have been cool with it. That guy will end up getting a Super Bowl before he retires. Won't take him like his whole damn career like it did Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's a great guy. I'm so happy for him. He can put that damn demon to rest. That shows you what a lowly, terrible franchise is. Just like the Cleveland Browns. Just the Charlie Brown of pro sports. They've had problems with everybody. Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson left on bad terms. Just a jerk organization to be a part of. Yeah, no, I'll get up in the morning. I'll have about 175 miles to go. Yeah, it was a great game. I really liked it. Those 2 interceptions that he got blamed for too, Matt Stafford, they really weren't his fault. How about this white guy, this wide receiver? My God, what a beast. I mean, he's just dashing by these brothers like it ain't shit. Yeah, man, he's good, man. That happens like every 10 million white guys. Maybe 100 million. I bet you never live that down in the locker room and he tortures your ass. Burns one of those defensive backs. I bet you just never live it down. And you know they were waiting for that. They knew he was going to do that stuff and he still couldn't stop him. Randy Moss was like that too. He'd talk a bunch of shit and they'd come up with all these schemes to shut him down. They couldn't. These guys just have like a magic wand of getting open. It's weird. It's almost like their eyes are watching this defensive player and they get him to go the wrong way for a half a second and it's over. Yeah, he really does. Plus he's got that weird juking, you know. He fakes the hell out of guys. Yeah, it was a great thing. Why don't they just have the NAACP sponsor it next year? I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I don't have a problem with black people, but goddamn, when you consider it's a minority, do you think we could have a couple white people sing next year? Jesus Christ. I mean, they were great singers and it was super entertainment, but what's going on there? Honestly, I mean, I'm a big fan of Snoop and Dr. Dre, but come on, you guys, what are we going to bring out next year? Model A's, Model T's, maybe make the Jumbotron black and white? I mean, move on. Yeah, I mean, no shit. That's some publicity agent trying to come up with he's thinking, make up for the quarterbacks. Hell, I don't know, but it's suspicious, I'll tell you that. Oh, fuck Eminem too. I'm telling you, I never bought into that. You can say what you want, call me a racist, but when I go to sushi, I want a Japanese guy making it. When I go to a Mexican restaurant, I want a Mexican making it. When I go to barbecue, I want a black. When I go to French, I want a French guy. When I go to pierogies, I want a Polak. When I go see Journey, I don't want to see Don Ho sing it. Lock me up. Call the FBI. Yeah, fucking right, man. No way. It's like you go into a barbecue place, you're trying to figure this thing out, and I think, well, can't really tell. Then the guy comes out, it's like, oh, the owner's here. And it's like, oh, fucking white guy. God damn it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's like anything else. Probability. You want to get some killer barbecue, go down to Memphis. It's all over the place. Yeah, it's just shit, man. I mean, if everything's supposed to be equal and fair and all this, then what's with all the entertainment? And I think if you're from a marketing standpoint, you're not appealing to a very big crowd with ancient rappers and a white guy over the hill rapping like a black guy. Everybody's running across the stage holding their dicks. I mean, come on, people. You know, this was 1985. Now we're talking. Well, let's get with it. I'm not saying, you know, we get Henry Jr. Connick, or whatever his fucking name is, to play the piano. Henry Connick Jr. But I mean, who makes these decisions? Yeah, I mean, it's just, I just shaking my head. I didn't find any of it that great. I mean, what's next? Stevie Wonder? Next year? He can sing Always. Came out in 1962 on a black and white Jumbotron. I guarantee if it was the other way around, we'd never hear the end of it. Yeah, Don Ho, he's got a good voice, but I'll tell you one thing, that's bullshit. People believe what they want to believe. You shut your eyes. You shut your eyes and listen to that Steve Perry and that other guy. Nah, it's not the same. Not happening. It's just like these impersonators, like they had that Jim Carrey impersonator. It's similar. There's a resemblance, but big difference. Huge difference. I want legit kick-ass entertainment. There's so many, like, maybe Rick Ashley in that next year, and he can dye his hair gray. Thank God we could have got Billy Joe and Elton John, two other old has-beens that can't fill up a casino. Yeah, I mean, look, it's pretty damn hard to offend me, but you pick for halftime a bunch of male entertainers holding their dicks walking across the stage. I mean, get real. You guys didn't notice this? Yeah, that's it, Ebony. Yeah, Ebony and Ivory, yeah. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, Ebony and Ivory, yeah. Just hand out a handful of tranquilizers so you can get through the end of the song. Really, I thought it was a terrible halftime. And for all you haters out there, they're trying to get me in trouble. It's not because they were black. I got a lot of black rap. When I pick a basketball team, everybody's black. You know, there's kind of a famous female author that's coming up to Traverse City at the 28th, but I don't think I'm going to be around town. I'd like to go up and talk to her. I've emailed back and forth with her a couple times. Yeah, no, I just think it was not representative of anything. Anything wasn't representative of the culture. It wasn't representative of the time period. It wasn't representative of race. Let me tell you, here's the deal on this. I know this. There are a couple gay guys well, a lot of gay guys in Chicago that ran. No, a lot of the water's melted on the roof of these factories too, so it's definitely warmer. They own these focus group companies. I've talked about this before. And what they do is these companies pay cash. It's probably $150 now. So the guys I knew went to the same health club I did, and they come in there. It's like, hey Tom, me, anybody they ran into, would you mind coming over for a focus group today? So I don't care, fine with me. And I went to probably 20 of them. And back then it was 50 or $100. And you go on, you'd be sitting at this big nice table, and they'd come on, and they'd say, hey, we'd be doing it for, let's say seal test ice cream. And everybody get like 8 things of ice cream, what they like, what they didn't like. Could be anything, tinted windows, toothpaste, stuff that made your teeth white, a new can opener, anything, focus groups. So what these companies do is they check the demographics, different areas of the country, and they go and they hire these places to just do these random tests. So I guarantee you they're doing that for the Super Bowl. And there is no way in hell you would have had that presentation without them having a pretty good idea what people wanted to see. So, I joke about, who's making these decisions. I'm 90 miles from Cincinnati. I joke about who's making these decisions. But I guarantee you it was done by focus groups all over the country. And that's who people picked. It's like, what do you want to see? It's like, well, we don't want to see a Nat King Cole impersonator. And so forget what I say. Those choices would have never happened without data to support it. They're not stupid. They were looking for the most people they could get to watch, and that's what the public picked. No, that's truthful. That is truthful. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. I think there's an argument for that. There sure is. We'll never know 100%. But yeah, that's true. And that could have been a focus group too. I'm telling you, it's the same thing. They go into big markets, and they'll ask people, you got to answer like maybe 20 questions on, do you think the NFL is racist? Do you think Kaepernick was treated fairly, railroaded, neither good or bad? Yeah, you're right about that. That's a possibility too. Yeah, for sure. Yep. I will tell you this though. You know damn well. I think Kaepernick's a big jerk. But I also think he was railroaded. You got, 26 teams? And they're all getting together 2 or 3 times a year with escorts and topless dancers and fondue, fine aged cheese, $500 a bottle of wine, and they're sitting getting drunk. And it'd be like me, Shock. Hey, I own Detroit, you own Cleveland. And I'll say, hey, you make sure that you never sign that Matt Stafford. He's a fucking bum. It's like, okay. And everybody leaves. And that is what happened to Kaepernick for sure. And there are that protect that from happening. You need to tell me Kaepernick shouldn't be on an NFL team someplace. You may not agree with what he did, but I don't agree with what they did either. Oh, no. You can disagree, but I've seen enough of them, and I've seen the results from them before. Yeah, he definitely got blackballed. No joke intended. No pun intended. I think he did. But let me tell you, this stuff is sensitive, man. The same with, why do you think now when they catch some linebacker slapping the shit out of his girlfriend after a drunken binge in an elevator, that they can him the next day, no matter how good he is? That's why, because there's the pulse on that is super sensitive. It shouldn't happen. And if you don't can his ass and distance himself, these guys that are in this crime and drunk driving and all this shit, you will have 10,000 people boycotting your stadium. Nobody's going to want to advertise with you. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Yeah, affirmative actions. That's exactly right. Yeah, it's true. I mean, these people that don't want to talk about it, they're afraid. I mean, I don't mind talking about it. Oh, okay, Colin. Sorry about that. I got some icy hot with me. I'll rub some on your back for you. We'll put it on the. We'll upload it. Yeah, I think it's a big. It's a big giant. You've had issues before with these owners in baseball. Look, they blackballed Jose Canseco, and as it turns out, he was telling the truth. But he would have hit him in the bottom line if people would have bought that then when he was selling it. And they successfully got the media to just describe him as being a wacko, crazy Hispanic that had 2 tons of sour grapes. And it turns out everything he said was true. But he couldn't have got a job in baseball for $100 a week. And it was because they conspired to get this big mouth guy out of the league. It happened with Rick Barry too, and I could never really get a good score on that. He made a watermelon comment one time, but it didn't seem to me that it was enough to... and Tim Hardaway Sr. got drunk one night, was talking, someone tape recorded him talking about gays, if his kid was gay, and he seemed to have made kind of a comeback. And how about that other Rachel, whatever her name is, on ESPN? She was saying that the black girls were, they were promoting them, and she was working her ass off, and they weren't giving a shit. And you see where that got her, don't you? It's the way it is nowadays. Yeah, Jimmy the Greek. Oh, the Jimmy, honestly, I think Jimmy the Greek was just an older school, ignorant guy that had reached status as a commentator. I don't think he meant anything derogatory by it, but it didn't matter. It doesn't matter nowadays, whether you do or whether you don't. And if you look at sexual harassment statutes, you'll find that joking is just as bad as being serious. And the reason for that is because when you put somebody in that position and they feel uncomfortable, and they bring into the office, it's like, hey, you told Martha she has a big ass, and it's like, I was just kidding. Well, you're in just as much trouble, which is a good policy. Nowadays, you can't say anything. You are putting your job on the line. If you say anything related, just play it generic, vanilla. Look at the airlines, they're proving that. There's some of these flight attendants now, I'll get my ass handed to me over this. And they must put them in the airplane with a fucking high-low. I mean, how they find a flight attendant outfit this big, they must sew 2 together. I mean, these women are just huge. Now, what's wrong with that? Well, I'm not dumb enough to say. I'll say nothing for the sake of argument. But everything's just off the rails now. Does that mean you can't be a good flight attendant because you're overweight? It does not. Does it restrict your mobility in an emergency? Absolutely. Yeah, it's just the way it is right now. You get a good-looking flight attendant, and you're thinking, oh, boy, this is... What's going on here? I mean, what'd they tell her? Gain 50 pounds in each ass cheek and reapply? I mean, this world is fucking crazy. Now, I will say this. One thing there's nothing wrong. You don't have to apologize for being a straight male that's attracted to a good-looking female. I'm not writing a 2-page rebuttal of why I don't go and hang outside of Jenny Craig or that other show, The Biggest Loser. No, I'm not doing it. Seriously, man, I'm not. It's like, well, you're not sensitive. It's a fuck, I'm not. If I saw somebody pulled over right now and she had a perfect body and a flat tire, I'd pull over and I'd help her change her flat tire. If I saw somebody that was 250 pounds overweight with a flat tire, I'd drive right by acting like I didn't even see him. I'm honest. No, I'm kidding on that one. I would not. I'd pull over for her too. So when you get to the brass tacks of the thing, I would do everything for a fat girl that I would for a skinny one, except have a sexual interest in her. It's my opinion. If her house is on fire, I help her out. She needs somebody to go to the store because she's sick, I'll go do it. So you can't say that's discrimination. Now they're starting to invade our personal preferences on what we find attractive. You cannot discriminate, still be a good guy, even though from a personal aspect, as a male, you don't find overweight people particularly attractive. I'm not apologizing for it. Not doing it. Yeah, Michelle, you gain 100 pounds, and we'll see if you're married a year from now. Do it. You wouldn't have, if you were 250 pounds more than you weigh now, you'd probably be single. It's just the way it works. Why is everybody acting like, oh yeah, you're so insensitive. Yeah, blah blah. I don't want it. An overweight lesbian. That's a good question. I think I have seen some overweight lesbians, though. To tell you the truth. But, you know, there's all sorts of ways of, oh, fuck, looks like a car wreck up here. There's all sorts of ways of, you know, chopping the numbers up. It's just like Hollywood, these liberal, crazy Hollywoods, Matt Damon, all these guys. They're going to live in their $5 million house with their $3 million add-on and their private jet, and they're going to tell all us what we need to do to make the world a better place. Yeah, sell your fucking house and all your toys, and you go out and give it away to the poor. I get so sick of Hollywood. It's ridiculous. Yeah, some men do like overweight. Yeah, they do. But it's the minority. Yeah, people do, right? There's actual fetish for it. And I'm not saying it's impossible to be attracted to someone overweight. I'm not saying impossible. I mean, people win the Powerball. That's probably a bad example, but I just get tired of the obvious being put out there like you got a big fucking question mark where you're working because you're afraid to tell people how you really feel. Yeah, some might don't too. Some men don't. And the ones that don't, it's their decision. And I'm not saying you can't be a good person overweight. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying when it comes to normal straight males and normal straight females, go look on dating profiles. Almost all of them. Nobody's seeking somebody overweight and obese is my point. That's why weight loss is such a big deal, and weight clinics, and Jenny Craig, and Oprah Slim Yourself Down. Nobody's running clinics. Hey, would you like to gain 60 pounds on each ass cheek today? Would you like to have more cellulite than you've ever had in your life in the next year? Are people flocking and paying to places to get fat? No. Just recognize this and quit with that puzzled look on your eye about why this is being addressed. Yeah, seriously, man. I mean, it's like, oh, yeah, oh, you're just so shallow. Yeah, I am. I'm going to take the shallow hit. Put a big gold star in my forehead. Do it. Overweight is unhealthy. Why wouldn't it be associated with it? Where do you want me to begin? Cholesterol, blood pressure, gout, heart attack, heart disease, sugar diabetes? Why the fuck wouldn't it be? Goddamn right, it's because it is. Probably, if I was working someplace, I'd probably get demoted saying that. It's like, Tom, can we see you in the office? It's like, yeah, all right, why? Well, you made a very negative comment today. It's like, yeah, what'd I say? It's like you said that overweight people, it's associated with being unhealthy. Yeah, I did say it. It's like, well, we're going to have to demote you. It's like, why? It is associated. Call any doctor anywhere. Let me just flip open the yellow pages and pick one. Maybe they do. That's exactly true. Maybe they do, but they're still unhealthy because of it. But I'm not going to candy coat it. That's not why I don't like them. I don't give a shit if they've got the most perfect body in the world that just happens to be 200 pounds overweight. It doesn't do a thing for me. Zero. And I don't need to apologize for it. Yeah. Maybe they just need to push themselves away from the table and not eat double desserts every night, too. Fuck yeah. You just gotta be so sensitive. I see there's cops in an unmarked car looking through a car that's on the back of a flatbed truck. Probably thinks that they probably stole it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, man, I try to be, I look, there's always the human element. Bias. It's a lot warmer here. I just stuck my hand out the window. There's always bias. You can't help it. Whether you like blondes, whether you like blue eyes, whether you like a big bulge in their jeans, you can't help it. There's nothing wrong with it. It matters whether you're in front of a judge, you're getting pulled over by a cop. It's always going to be there, the human element. Don't shit yourself. It's human beings, man. It's the way it is. And honest to God, I don't think I've ever known a racist in my life. I've known people that have told jokes, which you'll lose your job for now, but that's all it was, is a joke. It's like, well, that's very insensitive. Yeah, well, I know better now. I've had to drop a whole line of jokes over this last decade. It's a changing of the time, but it isn't because I ever meant any of those jokes as being literal. I'll tell you another one. Here's an example for you. And some of the stuff is biased in the opposite way. You go into a comedy club, okay? You think the comedy guy, as he's talking about fat girls or two gay guys holding hands? Fuck no. They would take the emergency fire axe and kill him on stage. Boy, but a comedian doesn't think a fucking thing of attacking a male for male pattern baldness. He will get on their ass like you can't believe. He'd never say, hey lady, geez, I noticed you don't have hardly any boobs. Never. He would never get another job, ever. But a male with male pattern baldness, that's open season. Why? If that's something that somebody's self-conscious about or they can't help, why is it fucking funny? Seriously, man, you get tired of this bullshit. Yeah, that's funnier than hell, Cue ball. Who's your hairstylist? Comb your hair with a washcloth. Yeah, hateful propaganda. Yep. Yeah, white man with male pattern baldness. Yeah. They think that's just funny as hell. Just super funny. People won't think shit of it. Would you go up to somebody and say, and if that bothers somebody, it's vanity. You go up to someone saying, my God, that tooth you got missing, why do you even leave the house in the morning? Would you ever think of doing some shit like that? No. The world is nuts. Oh, thank you. I didn't even know it was Valentine's Day. Somebody mentioned it last night, and then some girl said something to me when I bought one more. Hey, anybody get a Fantasy 5, Lana? It's $250,000 or something. It's only $1. Anybody that lives in Michigan, get a Fantasy 5. Do it. Here we are, the Bible Belt. Big giant billboard. The evidence is for God. Okay. I'll be reading these fucking things for about another 100 miles. How about the spirit of Johnny Holmes and Linda Lovelace? I'll get a billboard and put that up. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would too, Lana. But it can happen to anybody. I mean, yeah, but I'm not. You have a legitimate reason on something you never help. It's no different than having male pattern baldness. I mean, you can say, oh, what do you mean it's not different? My life's at stake over these health issues. I would agree, it's terrible. If there's anything I could do, I would do it. But you've had a rash of bad health incidents, and that comes along with gaining weight. I mean, it could happen to me too. And if you get feeling better and you get the right modalities, the right medication, whatever, you could lose that weight if you want to do. But to tell you the truth, I mean, once you get this age, I tell people all the time, if you want to lose weight, the way you're going to do it is when you're trying to establish an affair with the girl that answers at the phone at the place where you work. People get in shape for other people. And after you've been married 20 or 30 years, yeah, I know there's exceptions. When people get divorced, what's the first thing they do? They get in shape. They go to a health club. Why? Because they want to feel attracted to the opposite sex. They want to put the both. Now they could say, well, you're generalizing. You're full of shit. Not everything's about sex. Sometimes people just want to be healthy. I agree with that too. I'm just telling you what I've observed in my life. People get, especially younger people, at this age, 66, I don't really give a shit. I don't even want any sex. Especially after I got on this Abilify. I don't want it. It doesn't interest me. But when I was 30, it was like a big deal. There's nothing that will ever replace the chemicals of a budding romance. And then after about 2 or 3 years of turning every which way in a king-size bed, and it starts to wear off, that's when the rubber meets the road. When that sex wears off when you're young, it'll keep you together, and when it wears off, it'll also break you up. But when you get old at this stage of the game, I was thinking this morning, actually, has somebody come in the middle of the night and altered my jeans so they're tight around my stomach? I mean, it seems like that. I'm trying on jeans and I'm thinking, is this a dream? I am getting fat. That's it, Paul. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not that motivated by it. Why? Because I'm not out interested in a romance. I'm not. And because of that, I'm not working out. Now, I am going to get back to it slowly, but I guarantee you there's no way, under any circumstance, I would have been on this kind of hiatus if I was interested in other women. No way. It's just happened. So now you head into your older years. To young women, I seem like fucking Rip Van Winkle, so you can scratch that. I wouldn't even want a young woman if I could get one, to tell you the truth. I don't want an old one, I want a young one, I don't want a middle-aged one. I like just fucking around with my YouTube, taking my dog places. I've been thinking about taking Daisy to a groomer while I'm down here. She's so much better with people, I think that might be a possibility now. I wouldn't say I'm that creative, really. I kind of stick to the same thing. I'm going to get creative, though. I did professional photography for a couple years. I didn't really like it. But I'm thinking about doing it again. I was thinking about just doing it in my town, and people could just give me a donation. If you didn't have any money, I'll do it for nothing. And if you got a lot of money, I'll do it for nothing, too. Just so people can have nice photos of their farm or their... I just ordered a new camera today from Canon. I just can't stand this camera I just got back anymore. I really can't. I don't like the Sony I have. No, you can't get the stuff for the rigs on my Nikons. So I just said fuck it and ordered a new camera. Yep. Yeah, you all bets are off when you're not feeling good, Lon. I've been there, man. I know the feeling. I mean, when you're healthy and things are going well and you got a future, that's the time to I was in a long downhill spiral for a long time. And I'm confident that when you get feeling better, uh, you'll get shape. As a matter of fact, I'll buy you a damn membership to a health club if you want one. But that you to work out alone. It will when the time's right. You let me know. That, or if you want to like treadmill or something like that. Bye bye Nuke. Bye bye Walkie. Bye bye. Bye bye Nuke. Hit the refresh button, but it's not going to help. Yeah, anxiety's a bummer. It's a close cousin to depression. Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. My anxiety was like getting crazy. No shit. This Abilify's really bailed me out. I'm telling you, if that Abilify quit working tonight, I still got about 2.5 weeks that have been the best in years. And I wouldn't have had those. So I do know something was wrong. I do know something was wrong. And I got a different chemical concoction to prove that to me. So just keep at it. I'm not a guy to pray and all this bullshit. I think if it's going to happen, it's going to be from changes that you made. Good doctors. Get that gene test where they figure out what medication works. You may be, when you've been bedridden and stuff and health down, and it fucks up your mind. There's things you can do that you don't think you can do. It's just all these months and years of negative thoughts. Finally, you'll get to a point where you'll just give up. The only thing that you'll get pleasure out of is a whole family-sized plastic tub of Stouffer's 10,000 calorie macaroni and cheese and gallons of ice cream, triple latte, ding ding, twing twing, whipped cream ice creams, coffee drinks that cost $14 at Starbucks. You'll be ordering shit on QVC, eBay, shoes, clothes. It's because that's where you're getting your happiness now. I've been there, man. I don't think there's one goddamn part of a downhill nosedive and depression I haven't experienced somewhere along the way. It's fucked up a lot of stuff for me. So that's why I'm amazed I'm still alive, to be honest with you. I fucking can't believe this. I think to myself, I'm depressed. I think, is this just kind of some fucking cruel experiment? I'm still alive? Who the fuck is pulling the strings? Goddamn living puppet. Can't even get out of my own way. Depression's a fucking bitch, man. It'll twist, it'll get you thinking the craziest shit. You'll be getting rid of good people, cutting them off, getting rid of good relationships, thinking it's them. Fuck. It's goddamn bullshit. I hope they take my brain for science and dissect that goddamn thing. If they can find anything at all. I hope that like 100 years from now they take my goddamn brain out of a formaldehyde pickle jar and they pull it out. It's like, god damn, man, this is one crazy son of a bitch. Then they could analyze my brain, find some chemical that just makes you think nutty. Seriously, they'll go right into my brain. It's like, I bet this guy really liked porn. Like he was insatiable. He could never, like, he liked massage parlors and dirty movies and threesomes and fucking magazines and anything else he could get his hands on like that. It's like, yep. It's like, well, why? Well, this is what we want to know. It'll be posthumously my diagnoses. They'll say, It wasn't because of not being rubbed as a baby enough. It wasn't because of alcoholic parents. It wasn't because of fucked up abusive school teachers. He thought that's what it was from, but it wasn't. It was because of this chemical. I'm telling you, man, you can. They do brain surgery now, where they put like electrodes on your brain. They can make you cry. They can make you laugh. They can make you religious. They can make you an atheist. They can make you gay, straight, a risk taker, conservative, like hot dogs, vegan. They can make you do anything with the right chemical concoction. But you don't know that, and all you know is what you're thinking. And like I did for so many years, you're thinking it's because of this. I got a girlfriend, her tits are too big, her tits are too small, her tits are just medium, and I want bigger. She's too tall, she's too fat. Before you know it, you got all these crazy goddamn things, and you're going on to plan B, and you dumbass didn't even realize it wasn't going to get any better than that. It's crazy, man. It's fucked up. Oh, good for you, John. Dragon's breath or dragon's milk? Try that Abilify, man. I mean, you know, it's a shot in the dark. If you look at statistics, Prozac still does a good job with most people's brain chemistry, man. You look at people that can like draw good or paint or something like that. I mean, they're obviously thinking something that you aren't. There's songs, comedians, athletes. And it's the same with brain chemicals. I mean, environment helps, but you can have it either way, and you have to have a decent set of genes. You can control some of it, but if you get cast a bad enough card in your parents and you top that with a bad environment, you can be really fucked. But get people that triumph through that. They'll say like Ben Carson, what do you mean he came from a bad neighborhood? First of all, if you really pay attention to what Ben Carson's saying, I think that's a bunch of bullshit. I think Ben Carson, I applaud him. He's done a great job in life, but I think he's a pussy. He didn't come from any tough neighborhood. He tries to sell it like he came from the hood. And I think he had a cultured, maybe uneducated, but very smart mother. So if you've got that, even if you come from not the best area in Detroit, and she puts academics high on a list of priorities and she keeps you from hanging around with riffraff, I'm just saying the mom, you know, it wasn't like she wasn't a top-notch person. And you get, you know, weird shit like Larry Bird once in a while. Comes out of French Lick, you know, just torching the brothers for his whole career. I mean, that happens every 100 years. It's crazy. Oh, a hip x-ray? That sciatica's a bitch. That's very easy to fix, though. It's not like the old days. They've got this micro discectomies and all sorts of laser procedures. Back surgery now is nothing like it was 30 years ago. They're not in there wrenching around with a jackhammer. You know? Well, I think I'm going to get quiet here for a second because it's getting pretty busy. As soon as this traffic clears up, I will talk again. Yeah, lower back nerve, yep. It's very easy to trace, though. If you get surgery, let me know where you're thinking of getting it. I'll find you a good surgeon. I researched the shit out of that stuff. Yeah, I think chiropractic is bullshit. I'm not saying you can't get, if you've got serious neurological issues or impingement of chiropractic, I'm not saying it never helps, but any dumbass in the world can be a chiropractor. It's almost zero requirements. You don't even need a 4-year degree at some of these schools to get in. They just arrested all of them in my town for fraud. Doesn't surprise me a bit. It's a different caliber of person that scored well on the MCAT and had a decent GPA from a reputable school. You go in there and you hear your facet joints cracking and you're thinking, wow, oh, that's where that pressure was. Wow. Nah, it's a bunch of horse shit. Those guys almost know nothing about anatomy. It's a total joke. And 99% of them couldn't have gotten to medical school under any circumstances. It's not a legitimate doctor. It's not. That's why they call it Doctor of Chiropractic. It's not medical doctor. It's not DO. It's Doctor of Chiropractor. Big difference. %80 of them have some little dumpy office on the outskirts of town. They got the electrical stim and laser heat and all this bullshit. But they're not cutting into anybody, doing anything invasive. It's all crack your back. And they're also getting that $10,000 PIP benefit limit in places like Florida and Michigan. So even if you get somebody bumps into you at a stoplight, they'll go through that 10 grand like it's nothing. It's like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. I get relief. I love it. Okay, good for you. Like I said, placebos are right up there with the real medication. And all they're giving you is a gelatin pill. And you think that's helping you. So if that's what it takes, good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm just saying that when you base it on science, chiropractic is bullshit. You know, I know people, I couldn't live without my chiropractor. You know, okay, good for you. Good for you. You know, these are the same people that, you know, think the Earth is going to end and that they're going to take, like Scientology, take a spaceship and land it inside a volcano. I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone today, and for all you Christians out there, watch Dr. Sapolsky, Stanford University, walking on water, burning bushes, turning water into wine. These are recognized psychiatric disorders that you're treated for in this day and age. Hearing voices, speaking in tongues. There's some people that just took the plunge. Some of my best friends have been men of the cloth. Oh, those lectures are absolutely excellent. I've never listened to a guy articulate that like he does. And guess what? A smart Jew. What a surprise. And you know the interesting thing about that? He was raised as an Orthodox Jew. I'm a little disappointed in Stanford that his real good lectures have been uploaded, but they don't upload them. They upload all of them but when he talks about religion. And I'll tell you the reason for that. I'll bet you I could be wrong. And that is there's somebody out there giving him $1 billion a year that's a big Catholic someplace that owns 1 billion gas stations or something. And they don't want to fuck that up. And if one of these guys get wind of that, the donations are going to stop. Let me give you an example. The University of Michigan, the Fab Five, you can look it up. They got all their titles taken away and their banners and their Big Ten championships. They were runner-up in the national championship because of cell phone bills, some cash kickbacks. These are black kids in Michigan stuff away because of these kind of things. They're making fortunes These kids are getting some spending money. Now, is it wrong? It is. But that's the man making these goddamn bullshit rules. Now, here's the irony of the whole thing. I actually wrote these stupid motherfuckers a letter about this. And that is, you got the Fab Five, they strip them all their titles because of this chump change they got. Their cell phone paid, or their fucking coach bought them a steak dinner, some horse shit like this. Why, they're playing for free, mind you, and they're charging you up the ass to watch them play. Look up Al Taubman, Taubman. They got a whole wing of the hospital. Billionaire. Actually was a convicted felon. Now, did the University of Michigan take anything away from him? Fuck no. Did they take his name off the name of the hospital? They did not. Why? Why? If you're gonna, link yourself to morality and the good things and breaking the law, why is his name still on that hospital? He's dead now, so it doesn't matter. My point is, his name was on the hospital the whole time. Even after he was a convicted felon. And poor black kids make phone calls and get spending money, and everything gets stripped and it's never returned. It's nonsense. Oh, one thing I'm forgetting. Some of them did get degrees in basket weaving. Yeah, Daisy's sleeping on the floor between the seats. This is just the bullshit you see that nobody does anything about. Yeah, I'm serious, man. It's just things like that. Really, it's telling you. Look, you don't need to be a private investigator to figure these things out. You just read the paper. That's why I was so glad when they shoved it up the ass of that Lori Loughlin. That dingy, phony bitch still tells her psychiatrist, I didn't do anything wrong. The fuck you didn't. Look up bribery, dumb, stupid bimbo. And that squeaky clean, phony, fraudulent Hallmark dropped her as a spokesperson. Hell yeah. When you're selling virginity and love before marriage and all that horse shit, they had to get rid of her. That dingy bitch still doesn't think she did anything wrong. And they were investigating someone else. They actually caught her through the back door. I'm so happy for her. She's a convicted felon now. Same with greedy Martha Stewart. Leona Helmsley. They went bye-bye. Walkie bye-bye. Nobody forced them to do what they did. It's like my buddy's doctor buddy, who's going away for 8 years in federal prison. Walkie bye-bye. 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 Nobody forced him to commit fraud. I get in arguments with my buddy about this. It's like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about, man. The threshold to prosecute people is high. This wasn't a misunderstanding. Your friend is a fucking crook, a scumbag, and should not be able to practice medicine anywhere. He ignored the Hippocratic Oath. You do that bullshit in Singapore, he'd be getting beatings for the next 10 years. Fucking bullshit. Yeah, thought they could get away with it. This Medicare and Medicaid fraud, man, is just like off the charts. I think what happens with a lot of these people is they bill something incorrectly and they get this big ass check. They think, wow, man, no shit. These fuckers aren't paying attention. And if you look at some of the restitution that's ordered, they obviously aren't too good at auditing things. Because if they were, it wouldn't have never got on this long. But it's nothing to see restitution of like 850 grand, 2 million. They've been turning in these phony bills for $2 million worth of payment. I mean, somebody's not watching the hen house. Such bullshit. No, they don't. No, Singapore. They do that caning. I'm assuming they're still doing it. Wait till some of these liberal Madison, Wisconsin, or Ann Arbor people get over there. I hope they cane them too, just to show them who's boss. They're going to say caning's cruel, it's tantamount to slavery, it's physical abuse. Yeah, it's also a clean, well-run city. And according to Interneil, that comes on the late night chats, Hamburg, Germany is the same way. And I'm not supporting communism, but, you know, China tells you you're going to get a vaccination, you're getting one. You don't have a mask on, you're getting 50 lashes. No, I don't really think I'm intelligent. I don't. I could rattle off shit until my mouth got dry and my tongue stuck to the roof of my mouth. I'd run out of... I've done some stupid shit, man. I'm just a student of life. Just like a baby in a diaper. If I was intelligent, I'd have... What would I have? I'd have a nice-looking German Shepherd that I paid 10 grand for instead of this mangy mutt named Daisy. See how you can get manipulated? It's like, oh, don't say that about Daisy. I'm just kidding. But it just goes to show you how your feelings and your mood can be controlled by comments. I am a fucking idiot in so many facets. That's why on YouTube, I'm happy. I save the money that I have from my videos, and do good things for it with it, because I realize it was just luck, and if it wasn't for people like Tassie and Becky and people like that, we wouldn't be talking now. So oh, that's it, Brian. Yeah, look at the bills sometime in a look at the bills sometime in when you're in the hospital. Those little like round band-aids, I couldn't find some of those. I got a biopsy on my face the other day. It looks like I got like the biggest rage of herpes ever. Now if I was dating, man, I'd have a goddamn... I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably go back to Claricel. But I don't give a shit. I don't care if they think I got herpes or not. But anyway, I tried to find these round band-aids. I couldn't find them anywhere. I mean, this fucking band-aid I got on my face today that I had to put some ointment on looks like a fucking parachute. I couldn't find any small ones. Yeah, Seoul, Korea. You see these crazy, nutty Chinese, how they're running these Olympics? Bunch of fucking lunatics. I wouldn't go over to that goddamn place. You're liable to get 10 years in prison for a parking ticket. Yeah, I'd be afraid to get an MRI in my brain. It'd probably be a big spot, like, you know, it's this big weird area. Not gray. Everybody talks about this gray area, like if you've got Alzheimer's or dementia, these big like blotchy things. I looked at them in some of these medical books. I bet they just like go through my brain. It's like, what in the hell is this? This guy must... That's another thing. When they ever do get a look at it, they'll think, yeah, this guy must have just shot his mouth off constantly. He's always talking about sex and fat women. It's because of this chemical right here. He couldn't help it. He's always saying how he loves Jews and picks black guys to be on his basketball team. I bet this guy had a lot of problems because of selling himself as being honest, but it's too bad he wasn't alive, because if he was, we could tell him that all these outbursts and this obsessive compulsive behavior he exhibited was because of this odd concoction. Look at, they got the things in the golf course. They got the things where you at the hole, the flags in the hole. See hardly any sun down here. This is what 300 miles will get you. It's actually that much of a change in temperature. You watch, there's going to be some day where they're going to come out and they're going to say, you know, they always hold you responsible for your actions. But what if it was a chemical concoction that you were born with that you couldn't help? Bunch of fucking bullshit. If you can't help being a diabetic, why would behavior be any different? Goddamn wham bam happy hooker. I remember reading about the happy hooker, Xavier Hollander. Is she still alive? Does anybody know if the happy hooker's still alive? I always hoped she would be my babysitter. That'd be so great, the happy hooker. Does anybody know this answer to this quick trivia question? Where's old Bimbo Barbarella been lately? Anybody going on that channel seeing how she's doing? He, she, I still don't know what the fuck to call her. Goddamn makeup, a dress on, a big old 9-inch cock. Yeah, I wish they would, man. I wish they'd get in there and find out what's wrong. It'll be posthumously. That's like these guys, like the guy that got court-martialed for the Indianapolis because he wasn't zigging and zagging. And they end up sinking that battleship. And then years later, when they find out there's 10 guys on there that don't like him, that got the ball rolling on this shit, they ended up reinstating his admiral designation or whatever the hell it is. A lot of shit like that. I don't give a fuck what they do when I'm dead, whether they find it or whether they don't. It's the permanent colonoscopy. Propofol that never gets turned off. The happy hooker. Oh, she's alive. 78. Good for her. Everybody says this is such a bad thing, but why is there so much interest in it? I'll tell you why. It's because that's how we all got here. It's hard to believe, hard to imagine your dad having your mom's ass cheek pushed up against the rear window in a 43 Ford, but he did. Me too. That's a tough one to imagine. Yeah, John Hinckley. Yeah, that John Hinckley though, but I'm not sure what the details were on that. John Hinckley. Would they get some new medication where he quit thinking crazy? 78, good for her. Probably gives the worst head in the country she lives in. That's another myth. She seemed like more of a hustler than a hooker to me. She knew how to, like geisha girls. Those are mostly non-sexual conversations and relationships. The geisha girls don't have sex with the guys hardly ever. I'll tell you why. Read about it. Intellectual conversation, humor, culture. I'm not saying a guy doesn't get knobbed off once in a while on his way to somewhere, but it isn't like a traditional John hooker relationship like it would be in most countries. They make the man feel like the man. Make him feel good. And in a non-sexual way. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Oh, was she playing songs? Oh, cool. Did she sing "Oh Canada"? Good for her. Oh, going strong? Good for her. Ah, good. I don't mind that stuff. She seems to be pretty knowledgeable on music and stuff. See hardly any snow on the ground now. I was just walking in 12 inches the other day on that bridge. 12 inches. Too bad Bimbo wasn't on now. I bet that'd get her attention. Bimbo said she gave 10 to 14,000 blowjobs. Yeah, they entertain. No, geisha girl. I'd like one. Go on, honey, get up there if you want. I wouldn't mind trying one out. That'd be fun. Just go out and pump up my ego, laugh at my stupid jokes. get all blushed in the face when I mention my porn collection. If I had an American girl, she'd say, "Oh, that's just disgusting." Yeah, what a pig. I figured you were like that. No wonder you don't have a girlfriend. You left your wife. Fucking pervert. Porn collection. Why would I want to hear about that? Yeah, see, that's what you're going to get here in this country. I tell the geisha girl, hey babe, I got a fucking monster porn collection. Watch her get all like the old days blush. I'd think, oh, this poor thing. I embarrassed her. It'd bring me back to the 1940s. I wouldn't need to worry about getting sued like I would today. It's like we weren't into this dinner 10 minutes, and this crazy fucker, Tom Reed from this YouTube channel, starts talking about porn. I knew I shouldn't have done this. Go on, hon. Go on, jump up there. Go on, honey. Go on. Go on, jump. Jump. Go on. Go on. Go on. She doesn't want to jump with the phone cord. Go on, hon. Atta girl. A rural area, I'm going to let her out. Yeah, I'm going to look up that happy hooker playing the guitar. Good for her. A little bit of an intrigue, just kind of interesting. Anybody that like be exposed like that hasn't turned into a drug addict or an alcoholic like Andrea True and Linda Lovelace, man, that's just sad to me. I tell you, if Linda Lovelace would have been my neighbor, I'd have made her feel like $1 million. I'd have just been a goddamn on-demand slave. I'd have made her beer runs, alcohol runs, tried to get her to go to AA. I'd have been a good, solid friend, just hoping that one day I'd say, Linda, she said, Tom, I said, Linda, I saw you in a lot of movies. I liked you. I've helped you out. I've been your goddamn caretaker for 2 years. Could I have just one blowjob? She'd say, no, I just don't feel comfortable with it. We've developed a friendship and I don't want to ruin it. It's like, ruin it? What the fuck are you talking about? This is going to enhance it. I mean, all this shit that I've done, been your damn male slave, and it's going to ruin the friendship. It's like, yeah, I just don't feel comfortable about it. Now that is time for a visit to a psychiatrist. I'd say, Doctor, Linda Lovelace, I've done 2 years worth of full-time work for her, and she's worried about ruining a friendship. Help me. Yeah, that's the thing, David, on those insanity pleas. Yeah, it's the difference between looking at bars and padded walls. Yep. Yeah, padded walls sound a lot better. That would be that's when you really need therapy, a professional. It's like, doctor, I saw her in like tons of movies. Sex movies. She didn't even know these guys, and she wasn't even making hardly any money. And now I do everything for her, take her to her doctor's appointments, and she doesn't want to ruin a friendship. I mean, start talking, motherfucker. This is $250 an hour, and I am depressed as hell. And not only that, when you take the emotional side away from it, this doesn't have any logic to it at all, does it? Hey, Mark. How's it going? Making my way south. Dueling banjos. No more snow. Well, a little snow, not much. Now, you guys, for all you people that say, why didn't you have your snow tires on? Bingo, here you go. This is why. Because I knew I was going to be heading south before winter was over, and I didn't want to have to take my snow tires off. But bam. I brought my laptop with me too. I was going to interview some people, but I got fucked up last week with Anthony and their car breaking down, and then I went to their house for a couple days. And last night was the first decent night's sleep I got. So I just canceled all my interviews. It's distracting when I'm around Anthony. I mean, he'll come up with his brand new drum set while you're talking on the phone, not thinking a thing of it. I just didn't want to, they're bad enough without any extra distractions. Debbie Does Dallas was fantastic. Bambi Woods, that's one of the few porn stars. They really don't know what happened to her. She just faded off into oblivion. Yeah, I thought that was excellent. There was 2 versions, 1 and 2. I can remember when I saw Debbie Does Dallas. I mean, she was legit, super cute Dallas cheerleader. It's amazing my heart was able to take that. Yeah, it's running well. The only problem is I am going through about 1 gallon, 1,000 miles of antifreeze, which is why I've got 3 gallons in the back. I put some high mileage seafoam in my oil last night, and that lifter noise went away, believe it or not. I put another bottle of K-Seal in it. Oil pressure's good, temperature's good. Now I'm only drive like 700 miles, but when I get up in the morning, I'll check the fluid levels. I mean, any second this engine could seize. I just didn't catch it, and it, I'm prepared for that. I've got my AAA. If the engine seized, though, that'd be a little different than I'm used to. Well, what happened somewhere, my van, not back home because I'm not within 200 miles. And I'd really be fucked. I'd have to scrap it then. I'm not going to pay to have it towed back. I'd scrap it. I'd take the good shit off it, the radiator, 2 new window motors, and I'd just scrap it, and then I'd rent a car, pay up the ass, one-way rental. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but if it does, it's not the end of the world. No, I'm going to stay in Chattanooga tonight. Yeah. I got a couple bull dykes. They're going to put on a sex show. Sam and a bull dyke. I'm going to upload it later, so stay tuned. It's $29.95. It's kind of nice to see the sun. You live up in northern Michigan, man. That sun isn't... You're not getting your eyes blinded by the sun in the winter. Not much. Hang on a second. I gotta put this visor down. The damn sun's coming right through, or nothing is blocking it. See, if I was young and I was dating, I'd be wondering if that sun's shining off my big giant bald spot. But because I'm by myself and 66, I don't give a fuck. So this is one of the rare instances where I point out to you that there are benefits to getting older, and this is one of them. Yeah, I'll drive that. I'm not really into that Toyota. If anybody can find a good Astro van out there, I'm all ears. If it's maintained, I don't really care how many miles it has on it. Wide, everybody's driving like babies, including me. But I'm just kind of like laying low right through here. Drive's been great so far. Yeah, I got a late start. Had a lunch in Ann Arbor. I bet you money around here is a big speed trap. It doesn't make any sense. If we were in Detroit right now, they'd be going 100 miles an hour. Party tonight in Chattanooga. We're gonna have a threesome with 2 bull dykes. I might dip into my YouTube money. Don't want to disappoint anybody. $29.95. You're gonna get to watch it. No ticky, no washi. No $29.95. No movie. Yeah, I'm still in Ohio. Fuck yeah, I'm still in Ohio. This goddamn state never ends. Probably be in Ohio for another 48 hours. I can't wait to get down. I used to know a famous marble guy down there, Everett Grist. Grist. What a gentleman. He's dead now too. He wrote a lot of books on marbles. I have them all too. Autographed copies. You know, I should have brought those marble books to my buddy. Because I ended up selling all my good ones to his wife, contemporary. Hey, Doodles. Oh, thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. No, I know I got some people that come get me in an emergency, but that's what I do. If right now the oil pressure dropped, I try to save it by pulling over. I'm not in Detroit, so I'm not going to get my head cut off. And I'd call AAA, I'd have them tow. I'd look up in the yellow pages, just take a chance on a good mechanic place. Leave it there. I'd look up for a good mechanic place near a scrapyard. And then I would not get it towed back to West Branch. If I'm within 200 miles of West Branch, I will. If not, I'd get a ride home some way, rent a car, strip off the good shit, drive my Toyota while I was looking for another Astro van. That Toyota, I just can't get into it. It looks like something June Cleaver'd be driving. You take a macho man like I am, I mean a stud, a true man, I just wouldn't look right in one of those. I don't think I'd look right. I need a manly vehicle like this. Daisy run around the back. Don't give a fuck about a door ding. No, I don't think I'll ever find a leak. If you read that, this is a common problem with this. Most of them don't make it this long, so I'm all on borrowed time. The oil isn't milky. My guess, I don't think it's coming out of the water pump, although that could have got damaged. But I've been looking for that widow's weep or hole or whatever the hell they call it. I'm not losing a lot of fluid. My idea is it's burning and going out the tailpipe. But I can live with a gallon 1,000 miles. I put another thing of K-Seal in. I also use Slick 50. I put one of those, and I got every damn. I'm pulling out all the stops now. I'm going for it. I'll tell you, vehicles are crazy now. That's why I got scared and I bought her. I hate these cameras that I have. This fucking Sony I have sucks. This HFG 50 sucks. And I just couldn't take it anymore. And I, look at cameras all the time. Nobody's coming out with any new ones. These companies can't get these chips and all this bullshit. So I just went and bought one. I did get 15% off from Canon, which is almost impossible because I'm a good customer. That's what they told me. But, when I went on the website to order it, there's no 15%. Anybody wanting a good camera? There's hardly any left because they're not making them anymore. It's not my dream camera. Best I can do is 4K at 30p, but I'm not doing sporting events. So I went with it. Yeah, and the stabilization in these cameras I have sucks. And you know, I like video and airplanes. It hasn't been an issue because I haven't been going down there. But when I do go down there, you know, I pull out my camera. It's like, oh fuck, I got to use this goddamn thing. You know, you're zooming in, it's going in and out of focus. Goddamn plane's blurry. Can't even see what kind of plane it is. Like that, it just keeps me from doing something. What good's a camera if you can't use it? You know, even like nighttime, you see some ducks swimming around or something. This fucking thing isn't focusing. I'm getting pissed. So it was just, I just couldn't take it anymore. I had a camera metal breakdown. Yep, I did. I just called them up and ordered them. This is a 3-year-old model. It's the XA55. It was like $3,400 when it came out. They only have 10 left in the whole company. So I went ahead and bought it. It was $2,700 with tax. I mean, I'm not balls out. You know, it's not like I got the latest and greatest, but if this camcorder things keep going this way, plus I know how to use everything on it. I know their menus. God, what's that worth? There's nothing worse than trying to figure out how to use a new piece of electronic equipment. So I'm getting it shipped to where I'm staying. So hopefully I get it this week. I go through all this bullshit, nice conversation with the lady, and she goes to hit the thing. She said it wasn't approved. It's like, it wasn't approved. I said, I bet it's this goddamn bank of mine. So I said, well, why don't you call me back in 10 minutes? It's like, okay. She calls it. Sure enough, as soon as I hang up, I get a text. Is this you? It's like, yeah, it's me. Approve it, motherfuckers. So it's on its way to Georgia. It doesn't get shipped till tomorrow, though. FedEx. I can't wait to film some things with it. Wish it was working tonight so I could do this lesbian threesome. Low light. I'm telling you, man, if it's like airplanes. I love doing airplanes. If it's not bright light, both my cameras terrible. I mean, no shit. Yeah, won't it be? I got them through OnlyFans or whatever they call that thing. Just Fans. Hey, how you doing? Sorry about that. My bottles of water finally unfroze. And I think it's going to be traffic up here. No, I don't think I'm ever fine. I think it's going out the tailpipe. It's none of the obvious places. I'm thirsty as a son of a bitch. I poured a glass for Daisy too in their back. She's got a bowl on that train. Now, one damn side effect of this Abilify, it's making me fatter. This beautiful sunset. I think this goddamn camera looks milky. Is that better? Yeah, sorry about that. When I grabbed that when I set that camera down, it's easy to turn off the thing. It's right in the corner. I just got some bottled water, and plus I poured Daisy her dish full. It was all frozen before. Does this camera look clear now? Salty, I got a dinner reserved, or a restaurant reservation for us in Belglade. Yeah, I heard it was cold down there. I don't know what the temperature is down here. It doesn't seem too bad though. I gotta pay attention through here, so bear with me. Look at this gorgeous sunset. This sunset is beautiful. got through that. That wasn't bad. There's no country for old men. This guy's probably a Confederate flag broker. This beautiful sky. Yeah, I think I'm going to sign off because my camera's stuck. I'll sign back on a little later. Sorry about the camera sticking, but it keeps buffering here. It's weird. I'm in a huge metropolitan area. I'll be back on later. Thanks for riding along.